You and your friends book a few rooms at a resort shrouded by dark and crooked trees. It was hailed as one of the most haunted resorts in North America, but that was just what it said on the brochure, right?
Pat, George, and I needed a getaway. Pat got fired, George got dumped, and my house got burglarized all in the same month. Bonuses came at work and I decided to treat my group to a boys' trip. After replacing my TV, microwave, couch and everything else the burglar took, my bonus left us with limited options. I was picking between a Motel 6, 20 minutes outside of Vegas and a hostel in Tijuana when an ad came across my screen, an all-inclusive resort in Louisiana that was about the same price as my other options. The ad mentioned something about ghosts, but I figured that was just something to sell to the New Orleans tourists that like to tour haunted mansions. I let the friends know. Pat seemed excited. He had a little saved up and felt he needed a break before his job search started in earnest. George barely looked up from his phone. He spent most of his days staring at old pictures of him and his ex. Due to our financial situation, we flew Spirit. Only 4 fights broke out and only 2 involved the flight crew, so things were starting off well. We land in New Orleans and take a taxi deep into the bayou. The trees get darker and more crooked as we ride closer to the resort. Pat swears he sees something out the window. I think I just saw a veiled lady on the side of the road. He says, she was dressed in all white, but I think she just disappeared into the swamp. That's just Lady LaBelle, the driver responds, y'all gonna see plenty of her staying where y'all are staying. She haunts the place. Pat gets visibly nervous but I give a little chuckle. The driver must like playing tricks on tourists. How about you, George, did you see her? I ask our friend. George doesn't really answer, he lets out a big sigh, eyes fixated out the window. Everything reminds me of her. He responds. I know, buddy, I tell him, but let's try to have some fun this weekend. We pull up to the resort. George is the only one of us whose bag wasn't lost by the airline, so the bellhop has an easy time. We get to the check-in desk and we're welcomed by a beautiful lady around our age named Lexi. I give George a soft elbow as she's listing the amenities, but he's uninterested. He continues looking through the old pictures on his phone. As Lexi is telling us about the spa, her eyes roll into the back of her head and her voice changes significantly. He left me at the altar, she says, before going back to normal. Sorry about that, Lexi tells us, that happens here from time to time. She then smiles and continues telling us about the amenities. The staff here definitely seemed committed to the haunting bit. Who was that? George whispers to me as Lexi continues. I smile, glad to see George's mind off of his ex. That's Lexi, dude. She's been talking to us for like 15 minutes. Not her, he responds, the veiled lady behind her that was working her mouth like a puppet.